In the 13th century BCE, two empires stood at the pinnacle of power in the ancient Near East. In the south, mighty Egypt, ruled by the ambitious and youthful Pharaoh, Ramesses II. In the north, the Hittite Empire, fierce warriors from Anatolia, led by the formidable king Muwatalli II. Between them lay a region both coveted and contested, the Levant, a strip of land rich in resources, trade routes, and strategic cities like Kadesh. Whoever controlled this land could dominate the region. When Ramesses II came to power, he sought to reclaim Egypt's influence in the Levant, which had waned after years of Hittite expansion. His eyes were fixed on Kadesh, a city lost to the Hittites during his father's reign. But the Hittites were watching. Muwatalli II, well aware of Ramesses' ambitions, began preparing a massive response. He assembled a coalition of vassal states and set his army on the move. 2 powers, 2 kings, and 1 city at the heart of a deadly game. In 1274 BCE, the fate of Kadesh would be decided not in diplomacy, but on the battlefield. Ramesses II launched his military campaign in the 5th year of his reign. With confidence and ambition, he led a massive Egyptian force northward toward Kadesh, divided into 4 corps: Amun, Ra, Ptah, and Set. Each division had thousands of soldiers, infantry, archers, and charioteers. But Egypt's true strength lay in its chariots, fast, maneuverable, and deadly. These were mobile platforms for archers, designed to harass and overwhelm enemy forces. Meanwhile, the Hittite king, Muwatalli II, was not idle. He gathered a vast army, including thousands of heavy chariots and warriors from allied kingdoms across Anatolia and Syria. But unlike Ramesses, Muwatalli kept his troops hidden, waiting in ambush behind the city of Kadesh. Ramesses, unaware of the trap, moved forward with only his Amun division, far ahead of the other 3. Relying on false reports from captured Hittite spies, he believed the enemy was still far to the north. By the time Ramesses realized the truth, it was nearly too late. The Hittite army was already crossing the Orontes River, ready to strike. What followed would become one of the most famous ambushes in ancient military history. As the Amun division of the Egyptian army rested near Kadesh, they were completely unaware of the danger looming just across the Orontes River. Suddenly, the calm shattered. The Hittite chariot force, over 2,500 strong, swept down upon the Egyptian camp in a surprise assault. The timing was perfect. Ramesses' other divisions were still miles away. The Egyptians were isolated, vulnerable, and utterly unprepared. The camp erupted in confusion. Chariots tore through the Egyptian ranks, crushing infantry and scattering the unready. Panic spread. The Ra division, just arriving on the scene, was caught mid-march and quickly overwhelmed. At this critical moment, Ramesses II showed the leadership that would make him legendary. With only a small group of loyal bodyguards, he took to his chariot and personally led a counterattack, cutting through enemy lines and calling his scattered troops to regroup. Outnumbered and nearly encircled, the Egyptians fought with ferocity. Ramesses' courage and charisma turned the tide, momentarily, halting the Hittite advance and buying precious time. Then came a twist of fate. Reinforcements from the kingdom of Amurru, former allies of the Hittites who had switched sides, charged into the fray. Their arrival tipped the balance, forcing the Hittites to withdraw from the camp and regroup behind Kadesh's walls. Though bloodied, Ramesses had survived the ambush. The Hittites had struck hard, but victory still hung in the balance. The Battle of Kadesh was far from over. With the initial ambush repelled, Ramesses II quickly reorganized what remained of his army. Reinforcements from the Ptah division finally began to arrive, while the Set division followed shortly behind. The Egyptians were battered, but no longer alone. Determined to regain the initiative, Ramesses ordered a full-scale counterattack. With renewed strength, the Egyptian chariots surged forward, striking the Hittite forces who had retreated behind their lines. What followed was a brutal, grinding clash of two ancient superpowers, chariot against chariot, spear against shield. Neither side could deliver a decisive blow. The battlefield became a storm of whirling wheels and flying arrows. The Hittites, though still strong in numbers, were caught off guard by the Egyptian recovery. Their attempt at a swift victory had failed. Facing the risk of being encircled themselves, they chose to withdraw into the safety of the city. Despite the fierce fighting, neither side could claim clear victory. Ramesses did not capture Kadesh. Muwatalli did not destroy the Egyptian army. Both kings had failed to achieve their ultimate objectives. The battle ended in a bloody stalemate. Thousands lay dead, the land soaked in the cost of imperial ambition. Kadesh remained standing, but the age of constant war between Egypt and Hatti was drawing to a close. After years of warfare and rising costs on both sides, Egypt and the Hittites needed a solution. Though the Battle of Kadesh had ended without a clear winner, it opened the path to an unprecedented act of diplomacy. In 1259 BCE, 15 years after the battle, Ramesses II and the new Hittite king Hattusili III signed what many historians consider the world's first recorded peace treaty. The Treaty of Kadesh not only declared an end to hostilities, but also included clauses on mutual defense, repatriation of fugitives, and the reaffirmation of borders. It was a bold and forward-thinking document for its time. Two versions of the treaty have survived, one in hieroglyphics in the temples of Karnak and Abu Simbel, the other in cuneiform tablets found in the Hittite capital of Hattusa. Both testify to the importance of balance and negotiation between great powers. From the ashes of war, diplomacy was born. The Treaty of Kadesh became a foundation of peace between two mighty civilizations, and a beacon for the future of international agreements. Though fought over 3,000 years ago, the Battle of Kadesh continues to capture the imagination of historians, military strategists, and archaeologists alike. In Egypt, Ramesses II immortalized the event in grand fashion. Temple walls at Abu Tits, Simbel and Luxor are covered in dramatic reliefs showing him as a heroic warrior defeating the Hittites single-handedly. These depictions served more than memory. They were propaganda. For historians, Kadesh provides valuable insights into Bronze Age warfare, especially the use of chariots, which dominated combat before cavalry emerged. It also reflects the risks of poor intelligence and overconfidence in military planning. The Treaty of Kadesh stands as a pioneering moment in diplomacy. Its legacy is so profound that a replica now hangs in the United Nations headquarters in New York, a symbol of how even ancient empires could choose peace over endless war. If you enjoyed this journey through one of the greatest battles of the ancient world, don't forget to subscribe for more epic stories from history. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and share your thoughts. Every bit of support helps us bring the past to life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next chapter of history.